morning guys, hello and welcome to another episode of the Portugal travel series. Today we are gonna do something special. Of course I want to explore the neighborhoods of Lisbon, but everybody on YouTube probably has already vlogged about Baixa, Chiado, Alfama, the very typical touristy neighborhoods. So I have a plan to do something special to make this vlog a bit more unique. But before we do that, let's have a very special breakfast too. I have had enough of pasties. I've been eating about 2 or 3 pasties almost every day. And now that I have even had pasties de Belém, which basically in Belém is where they started the pasties. So I've tried the original one, the trademark one, and then pasties de nata, which is let's say the second in line, because pasties de Belém was trademarked, so everybody else has to use a different name. So anyways, I've tried all the variations there are to it, and not that this is my first time trying the custard tarts. I've had them in Macau before, which was also Portuguese colony, and several other places. Although I prefer the ones that they have here. They taste better and they don't leave an aftertaste, so it's pretty cool. Anyways, enough of that. I'll start with a special breakfast, and just a hint, if you've seen the previous episode you would know what I'm talking about, and if you haven't, I'll show you in just a second. So let's get started. Those mangoes were actually really yummy. Now I wish I had like, I don't know, 10-15 kilos or something, so I could eat them throughout the day, but can't have so many mangoes on the same day. So let's get the exploration started, heading over to the bus stop and then off to the first destination of the day, which is I think it's gonna be very unique compared to the rest of the travel vlogs of Lisbon, so stay tuned to find out where I'm headed. Okay, so after a bus ride of about 45 minutes or so, I'm in the town of Odivelas. This is a district and a municipality in the greater Lisbon metropolitan area, but far away from the touristic circuit. Not many people here and not many tourists here specifically. I'm here to visit the Sikh temple called the Gurudwara, which is a couple of steps walking from here. So let's go walk there and I'll tell you more about it once I'm there. Finally made it to the Gurudwara. It's a place of worship of the followers of Sikhism, but they also welcome other religions and other people from all around the world. So gonna go inside, take a quick look, see how the environment is around, and enjoy the rest of the day. So one thing you should know about the decorum inside is not to wear shorts or cap. Well, that was a lot of fun. Had a nice darshan in the Gurudwara Sahib. It was on the first floor, and then the ground floor was actually the langar hall where they serve you food. Usually it's all run by volunteers, and in the bigger Gurudwaras they come to your place where you are sitting down on the floor and eating, and they ask you if you want a refill for anything. Oh, I still have this. You're required to cover your head, so I still put this on. But I think because of the pandemic times, they are just sitting at the corner once, and then you take your own servings. They give you once, so they're trying to avoid contact as much as possible. And on the top floor where I was visiting, you saw this brown thing in my hand. That's actually called Kada Prasad, which is if you remember this cooking video that I did, the suji halwa, this is actually wheat flour halwa made with wheat flour and ghee, and it's kind of like blessings from the temple. So normally in India, when not the entire family is able to visit some place, you try to save some and then you bring it home and share it with the rest of the members, so everybody could get a piece of the blessings, just notionally. Yeah, and that's kind of one of my fondest childhood memories. And the last Gurudwara I visited was a couple of years ago, pre-pandemic, when I was exploring Delhi on my own. In Chandni Chowk there was this Seesganj Sahib Gurudwara, so I visited there. Finally, after some years, managed to visit a Gurudwara again. Vibes are really peaceful. On most of the Gurudwara campus they have speakers, so they play the Guru Bani, which is the teachings of Sikhism. I understand bits and pieces of it because it's in Punjabi, but the reason why I really love this is because they have tabla and harmonium playing in the background with it. So this was one thing I really wanted to do, offbeat. It's in northwestern part of Lisbon, so it's kind of like off the route, especially if you want to do the touristic circuit. But now I'll just walk around this area since I'm already here, see what else is there to see, and then head on over back to our mainland hotspot, Lisbon. Looks like I walked into a really nice park, and as you can see it's like 30 degrees plus and I'm melting, so gonna find a nice shady spot and rest for a little bit. It looks cool. Maybe you just have to find a good spot to chill at. This might have been a well at some point. The buckets pull out the water, but I guess now it's just a piece of monument for sure. Let's see how this park looks like, and if there is a good nice shady spot with a view to chill at. There is a small stream of flowing water, doesn't look very drinkable. And then there is the highway there, and yeah, here the stream pretty much dries up. Would have been a really nice hangout spot if there was like a full heavy flow of water, but on that side, I think under the trees there, I see some benches where I could rest for a bit, and then we'll see where we head out next. Right, so been resting for a bit. I think this park is called Rio da Costa Urban Park. Found a nice shady place here. And while I was resting, I removed the lower half of my pants to convert them into shorts again. That's the benefit of having these convertible pants, since I'm no longer in the Gurudwara, so I can be back to my summer looks. There's another park about 15 odd minutes from here, and then there is a metro station close to there, so I'm planning to move from here to there. Try and see if the views are slightly better there, because there's too much commotion from the highway. Thankfully they don't honk here, but then zoom zoom, all the cars and buses going past is not a pleasant sound for the noise. I've barely seen like 2 people in this park, so it seems like a bit offbeat anyways. But let's change location, change scenery, see what we find. Perhaps I misunderstood. So this wasn't supposed to be a park. This is a monument of Senor Roboto. Looks pretty nice with the blue and white tiles at the background and this monument up front. And then on the way here I saw the metro station. So let's hop on over to the metro, start heading back to Lisbon. One good thing about Lisboa that I really like are these big squares with huge monuments of the people of significance. So I'm now standing at the Pombal monument. He was the chief minister of King Joseph I and ruled as a diplomat. So that's his statue. And the neighboring areas have a lot of hotels, and I think the airport is also close by. I saw a couple of planes take off. This is a huge roundabout, and I think there is a nice park back there. So there's a sightseeing bus parked up there, and I could see the slope going up and really beautiful park. So try to get close and enjoy the park a bit, and then the idea would be to continue walking downhill because for the moment it's gonna be downhill and then a bit of a flat lower town, and then we have to go to the upper town and the castle and everything, which are gonna be up high at the altitude. So let's see how it goes, and that's the role of Tram 28. It takes you up but I read about it that it's become so iconic and so touristic that you can get pickpocketed, and it's not safe anymore because all the tourists try to get crammed inside and all of them go up, and it's the pandemic, so there is literally no possibility of social distancing, and good luck finding a seat. So what I'll do is I'll try to figure out a way to get close to it to take a picture and a thumbnail with it for this vlog, but I'm not gonna take a ride on it because it's not really that safe anymore, security wise and also COVID wise. But yeah, this is an amazing monument. I saw this on the way with the bus. I think I managed to capture only a part of it, and then that's the park I'm trying to get to. So let's try and get close, maybe also eat an ice cream on the way because it's really hot today. This is nice, known as the Freedom Park before, but King Edward VII of England visited, so it was renamed. So I'm standing somewhere here. This is a really huge park, so I'm gonna spend some time here exploring. That's where the park starts from. Headed to the other side of the park. It's a very nice park. Didn't see many shops or vendors along the way, but it's very nice to rest. Clouds cover came up a little bit, so that's nice. It drizzled a few drops of relief. They're doing some sort of maintenance down there, so but the view is really cool. That's the Pombal monument far away, and there is a small fountain here. Doesn't seem to be working at the moment, but might be nice in the evening if you want to come here for a picnic or something like that. This also seems like a nice park. She was a fado singer, so fado is a cultural ethnic singing here. So this is a green corridor which links at the park where I was at to Monsanto. The park is there, and then you cross the street, and then there is this Amelia Rodriguez Park. Pretty cool. Lots of lush greenery here, but I'll continue heading towards the city center now. Walking along the boulevard of Restauradores, along the street they have a lot of restaurants all around, high-end premium stores on the sides and small vendors in the middle. The views are really nice, and if you want you could stop by, have some snacks at one of the cafes. Even there's a concept of late night snacking here, so you could technically still have coffee and some croissants or something at like 7 p.m. I saw some people do that a couple of days ago. I've been walking along these streets for a bit, usually along the days when I finish exploring around 6 or 7 p.m. So I come out here, start walking a bit, just to relax. Don't really vlog much, but today's the day when I'm officially exploring this area, so thought of picking it up on a vlog. And then in the middle there is this street with all the trees lined up. I think these are maple trees, and when you walk along them in the evening you get like nice and cool breeze. Even now some people are just chilling on the benches, hiding from the sun. I think it's about 40 degrees today. I feel at home, so for me it's no issues, but most of the people kind of like taking the shelter. So I'm hoping when I'm exploring there won't be so many tourists because it's really hot today. But yeah, it's a fun evening walk area, and these tiles have like nice texture all the way up to the Rocio Square where I'm headed. I call it the city center. I don't know if it's officially the city center or not, but for me it is. Just had a nice and fun ride over this funicular. So aside from the yellow Tram 28, funicular is also one of the things you might want to try. It goes up a steep uphill, just a couple of minutes ride. Single ticket costs you €3.80 I think, but for me it was included in the Lisboa card, so I gave it a shot nonetheless. It might sting a little because the ride is very short, so decide for yourself, but it was fun nonetheless. So the funicular that I took brings you directly to this viewpoint where everybody's standing up there, so you could have a nice view of the city. Then there is also this nice garden which is relatively empty, so I decided to come down here and then look at the city views from here. So you have like a nice aerial view of the entire city. Hello Lisboa. This garden is really cool. Upstairs I think there is a small patisserie, so I'll probably go there, grab a iced tea or something and just spend some time here, relax a bit before I go and explore the other parts of town and other neighborhoods. The cool thing with the funicular, it's super noisy and it got cramped a little bit, so I couldn't vlog from the inside. Anyways, the journey was too short. This clicking sound that if you might be able to hear behind me was actually the funicular. But yeah, I mean, it brought me to a higher altitude, so if I want to go down I could just walk, or I could take the funicular again. I'm not sure if I want to take it again downwards, but anyways, climbing the altitude is always good if you could conserve some energy. But these houses look really cool, nice and colorful. This is nice. There's red, green, blue, but the rooftops are all consistent, so that's cool. Not sure if you can see this, but up on top of that hill there is this grey hilltop castle. That's the Moorish castle and castle ruins. Technically it's no longer a castle, it's not even a fort or a fortress, it's just a wall that you can walk along, but it's like a nice viewpoint. So my plan is to get up there, and I suppose if the castle is there, this side is the Alfama district, if I'm not wrong, but just trying to orient myself from up here. But yeah, castle, normally people say either the castle, or if you don't want to pay to enter, then there is a viewpoint, something similar to this right next to it, so it gives more or less similar or slightly better views. I'll see if my Lisboa card allows, and if I still have time. It's already 4:30, we'll see. If it's allowed to go inside, we'll go, otherwise we'll go to the viewpoint. But for the moment, just resting in the park, because there is a nice mini fountain there as well, so I'm gonna rest here for a couple of minutes.
Forgive me for things I don't understand. Sometimes I need to be alone. Please don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Got my drink, I got my music. I will share it, but today I'm down.
So I'm walking down the funicular path. I was hoping that one of those was going down so I could chase it and see who gets down first, but as you can see, it's like a small narrow path, two funiculars, one going up, one going down. Well, of course the one that goes up goes down as well, so there's like two of them ferrying people up and down. But that's about it. That's pretty much the experience. So now I'm just gonna walk around to the main squares there, try and see if I can spot the iconic yellow Tram 28 and the other iconic monuments that they have in those squares. Benefits of scorching heat. Usually in the evening hours there are a lot of people chilling here, especially I like the pattern of the tiles here, they're really cool. So this is the Rocio Square, that's how I call it, probably Portuguese pronunciation is a bit different. And it's right next to this boulevard street that I was walking on, so a lot of people in the evening hours chill here a bit. So I was trying to take a few pictures and cinematics a couple of days ago and was just impossible. Today there is no one, absolutely clean and clear shots. another souvenir you could take away from Portugal is a can of sardines. They have a lot of them here. Those were really cool vibes. They made it like a mini amusement park inside. So if you prefer getting some Portuguese sardines for yourself, that was that. By the way, a correction, I think the previous square I called it the Rocio Square. That was Restauradores. This is Rocio Square because I got confused with the pattern of the tiles. This has the sun as well, but the icon here is this fountain, which is never running ever since I came here. It's just like a little bit splish splash of the water down there, but still fun vibe. Ordered the Justa lift behind me, that metal structure. People queue up in long lines to go all the way up. I think it's a couple of second ride all the way up, and then you get to see the views. I prefer seeing it from the viewpoints, the miradoros. I don't prefer these kind of like lift-like things because of course for safety at the top they will have meshes and nets and stuff, so it spoils the view if you want to make a vlog of the city view. I was just walking around this neighborhood and randomly spotted that, so took a little detour. Near the Santa Justa lift, stopped by at a small vendor to grab a huge bottle of water. He was surprised I was taking the big one, and then we got chatting where I was from, and I asked like, how do you feel about the heat and stuff. So jokingly also mentioned that the next destination where I'll be heading to in a couple of days is also on fire, just like Sintra, but there's no warning, there's actually fire there, so we'll see how it goes. Anyways, that's the iconic Rue Augusta arch, and which gets you to this statue, and this place I think is called the Commerce Square, and right in front is the Atlantic Ocean, and a lot of ferries depart from this port here. In case if you're doing some ferry rides, most likely you're gonna end up visiting this place at some point. But this arch is very iconic and significant in this trade history of Portugal, so definitely worth a visit. And there are also restaurants around, so you might want to eat something if you're hungry. This is nice. All the ferry boats are here, and I can also see the 25th April bridge there and the statue of the Christ here, so I guess Berlin is somewhere that side. And this is the harbor, that's the big cruise ship, and then there are the small ferries, so all of them start from here. As I was saying, this is one of the main ports in Lisbon. So just gonna rest here for a bit. Been walking quite a lot today. Again, it's like I end up doing 25-30k steps, nice and easy. It's the city of 7 hills, so I walk quite a lot. Just gonna rest here for a bit, enjoy the sound of the waves, then continue exploring a couple of other stops maybe before we end this episode for the day. I found the Tram 28 on the way, just randomly happened to stumble upon it. So decided to take a ride anyways. It's well after 6 p.m. So there were some people, but not as packed as I would have imagined in the touristic hours. Anyways, just gonna walk around. This is the Alfama district, so just gonna walk around, visit the old Alfama square. Just gonna put up some cinematics, but gonna wrap up the vlog here. Did everything I had on my mind for the Lisbon, the city center, and all the neighborhood districts. So I had a fun day. Gonna close the vlog here, and with that, this is the Rustic Wanderer signing off, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.
please don't kill my vibe. Oh, please don't kill my vibe. No. I've been told to get you off my mind, but